Okay, so on your paper, you need to have it labeled word problems. And then I want a line going straight down the middle. On this side, we're going to write multiplying fractions word problems. And on this side, we're going to have dividing fraction word problems. Okay? So we're going to have an example of each. The reason I asked you to have your highlighter is because we're going to highlight some key words. So when we're looking at a word problem, we can figure out, do we multiply these fractions or do we divide these fractions? Okay? Tamara, you ready? All right, first word problem is under multiplying fractions. We're going to start here, okay? Aiden's mom spent $60 at Target. I figured that was about right. 3/4 of that money was spent on groceries. That's okay, I'm going to stop. You know, I write quick and then I move and we talk while you have time to write it down. Okay, then it says how much was spent on groceries. Aiden's mom spent $60 at Target. 3/4 of that money was spent on groceries. How much was spent on groceries? It's not asking that 3/4 was spent. We know 3/4. It's asking 3/4 of the 60. So you go in there and you have $60. Okay, the lady says, hey, call $60. What this word problem is saying is 3/4 of that 60 was spent on groceries. Everything else was other stuff like shampoo, conditioner, things like that, right? So we have to figure out how much she spent just on the grocery part, just on the food part. Let's look at words that pop out at us that let us know we are multiplying fractions. Right here. When it's of that, 3/4 of that, the of that is the 60, right? 3/4 of the 60. So that would be multiplying. So we need to
highlight it, right?
Yeah, highlight it if you have your highlighter. If you don't, you can use a marker and circle it. You would have 60 times 3/4. We're going to figure out how much she spent on groceries. And what do we do to whole numbers when we're multiplying, Walsh?
We make them into 60 over 1.
Yeah, make it into a fraction. So what is 60 times 3? 180. And what is 1 times 4? 4. 4 will go into 180 how many times? Aiden? You already got it. What is it?
45?
Yep, 45.
That's a hard one.
So how much did she spend on groceries?
45.
45.
She went a lot of groceries. She only used $60.
What if there was a part B? What if part B said, how much did she spend on everything else? 15. 45 and 15 more is your 60, right?
Yes.
So she spent 3/4 on groceries. She spent how many 4s on other stuff?
1/4.
1/4 on the rest of it, right?
16.
All right. Let's look at what it looks like, the difference if we are dividing fraction word problem. Let's see, Laura. All right, Laura made 2/3 of a quart of lemonade. Laura made 2/3 of a quart of lemonade. She split them in 2 cups. with 1/6 of a quart in each. How many cups did she have? So Laura made 2/3 of a quart of lemonade. She split them into cups with 1/6 of a quart in each. How many cups did she fill up, right? How many cups did she use? How many cups did she have? So we are looking for keywords in this one that tell us dividing. We are dividing. What words do you pop out at you that lets you know you are dividing? Campbell? Split. Very good. That's a good one. She split. If you're splitting something up, you're dividing it out, right? Is there another word?
Each.
In each. Yep. There you go. Right there.
I accidentally wrote that one on the multiplying side, so I just wrote an arrow.
Okay.
Also into.
Okay. Split into. That's right. Split into. Okay.
How many?
All right, so let's look at this one. You have 2/3 divided by 1/6. Okay, how do we divide fractions, Kyle? What do we use? What fast food restaurant do we use? KFC, right? Okay, so keep the first one, flip the second one, and change your sign. So my answer would be 12/3, which is 4. So how many cups did she have?
4.
She had 4.
So it's just dividing that you use KFC.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, I'm going to erase the multiplication one because we're going to do one more of each.
Oh, you want to.
Awful.
We tried to find X-Space but we couldn't find any.
She used to have some.
Just spray Germex up there.
I don't want to spray down. All right.
The hand sanitizer stuff works.
Like, use the hand sanitizer stuff.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, like the spray hand
No, because then
sanitizer.
it'll get wet. I don't want to do that.
Then you put tissues in there.
Oh, goodness. All right, I can at least get this side dry while I'm doing that one. Nice and clean, huh? Okay. Let's do this side. We're gonna do a multiplication one. All right. Colton. We're using you. Colton needs 1 1/3 cup of butter. Colton needs 1 1/3 cups of butter. Oops. For a batch of sugar cookies. If he makes 8 batches of cookies, how much butter does he need? Colson's making some sugar cookies for us. He needs 1 1/3 cups of butter for a batch, right? For a batch of sugar cookies. If he makes 8 batches of sugar cookies, how much does he need? Well, if he needs 1 1/3 for a batch and he's doing 8 of those, right? You would need 1 1/3, 1 1/3, 1 1/3, 1 1/3. So we would use the operation of multiplying, right? What words in there pop out at us and let us know that we are multiplying? Griff?
4.
How much?
Okay. How much? Okay. Anything else? How much is part of the question. Griff, you said 4. So tell me about the word F-O-R, 4.
If he needs it 4, then, I would say it's kind of,
So you're seeing this as he needs it for 1.
yeah.
Okay, so you would need it for multiple. Okay, I'll take that one. Anybody else?
Oh, he needs. Maybe.
He needs.
Needs.
Okay, so needs this much.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's 1/3.
Okay. All right, so let's work this one. We have 1 1/3 times 8. Now we have to remember how to multiply fractions that are a mixed number. Jamari, how do you multiply a fraction that's a mixed number? What do you do first?
We multiply the 3 and the 1.
So what do you do to this? What do we call it?
The Texas.
We're going to Texas this, right? So that's 3 plus 1 is 4/3 times 8 over 1, because all of our whole numbers are over 1, right? Okay, what is 8 times 4?
32.
32 over 3. How many times will 3 go into 32?
10 and
2/3.
10 and 2/3. 10 and 2/3. Yeah. So he needs 10 and 2/3 cups of butter. Woo, that's a lot of butter.
I don't know where I can put all that butter.
I don't know if I would like that much butter.
I don't know
Okay.
if I can make 8 batches.
So, the next one is a small dog
A baby.
named Emmy. This one actually didn't come with a name, but last period I was like, okay, let me throw another name in there. So I'm going to do it for y'all too. A small dog named Emmy eats 3/4 of a cup of food each day.
That's a lot of food.
Not that.
3/4 of a cup of food each day, that's not very much.
That's-
But
Yeah,
it is a
that's
small
one
dog.
dog,
It
that's
is a small dog.
Emmy is
She's
a
not
very
Eric.
small dog.
How many full days will a bag with 4 cups last? A small dog named Emmy eats 3/4 of a cup of food each day. How many full days will a bag of 4 cups last? So think about it, you go to Walmart and you get a bag of dog food. It's going to be a small bag because it only has 4 cups in it, right? Just maybe about as big as this paper. Here you are, get ready to check out, right? It has 4 cups in it. You have to figure out how many days is this going to feed my puppy who only eats 3/4 of a cup a day. So what words pop out to let us know we are going to be dividing? Ava Montgomery? Each. Love it. Perfect. Okay. Anything else?
How many?
Okay. How many?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Dave?
Eats 3/4.
3/4. Okay. We definitely need to know each 3/4, and we're asking how many. Okay. Anything else?
Last.
How many full days will a bag with 4 cups last? Okay. Any other words just pop right out at you? Okay, So, we have 3/4, and we are trying to figure out how many 3/4 we can get out of 4, right? So you have 4. Let me use a black marker. You have 4. You are dividing your 4 cups by 3/4. So what do you do to the 4? What's under the 4?
A 1.
A 1. And how do you divide fractions, Aaliyah?
KFC.
KFC. Okay, so keep the first one, flip the second one, and change your sign. So my answer is what, Alex?
16 over 3.
Which is?
5. Which is 3.
3 times 5 is 15, with how many left? 3 times 5 is 15, with how many left?
1/3.
Okay. That's the answer after multiplying, but is that my answer? Do I go up here and put it in 5 1/3?
No.
No, because it didn't ask me that, like, the answer like that, right? The question was how many full days. 1/3 is not a full day. 1/3 is a third of a day, right? So your answer is 5. 5 full days. Will you have a little bit, another day left over? Yeah, but that's not the question it asked, okay? It asked how many full days. So making sure you pay attention to the question.
I take the dog to a